Hi friends, welcome to a new watercolor tutorial. We all aspire to be able to paint loose watercolors. Many times we struggle to get a loose result. We don't get it that way usually. I feel one of the reasons for that is to get a loose results, we have to loosen up ourselves. From within we have to loosen up ourselves. We should not be consciously worrying about a specific or very beautiful result. You casually do it in a funful way and be true to yourself. Okay, that is something which can easily be taught, but we need to somehow practice doing that. So what I meant to say is that you can create watercolors without worrying too much. You just play with the colors, play with water, play with your brushworks, and you see what is happening on the paper, and depending upon what is happening on the paper, you take dynamic decisions. Okay, so you let it go, let something happen on the paper, and the next course of action you decide dynamically. That way we can practice, and I hope that will take you, that is a quicker approach to get loose watercolor results. We will try to do that today. Okay, so without waiting further, let us get into the tutorial. Today we are going to explore watercolor. I'll just start with the sky. Okay, maybe I will splash some water, I will apply some water. Okay, and we will play with the sky first, and depending upon how the sky is turning out, we will decide what to do next. Okay, so if you are following along, don't try to copy exactly what is on this paper. You can copy the approach. Okay, and you can accept whatever is getting formed on your piece of watercolor paper. Okay, you cannot exactly recreate what I am doing, but you can copy the approach and accept whatever is there on your paper and try to develop it. You do it a number of times and you will find a lot of fun, and you will also learn watercolors a lot on the way. Okay, so let us now begin, and I am using most likely I will be using these three brushes. Okay, this is a sort of a mob brush from Escoda Ultimo number 14, and this is a round brush again from Escoda number 8 Prado. It's a synthetic brush. This is also synthetic brush, but it feels like natural brush. And this is a kind of a liner brush. It's a Chinese calligraphy brush probably, and if required I will take another Chinese calligraphy brush. I am not sure if I will use it. Okay, right, now first of all play with it. Okay, so I am using I am just applying some water. Okay, and I'm making sure that it is evenly spread. Some area is there still not wet, so I'm just applying some sort of some water. Some area is dry, some area is wet. Okay, and now I'll be using some what do you call it as some ultramarine blue. This is ultramarine blue, maybe a touch of Payne gray. I just wanted to make it little darker. Okay, and just trying it. Okay, maybe I want some kind of warmth, so I'm using a touch of burnt umber to this. Okay. It is not properly, the color is not fully mixed within the brush, so you are getting some burnt sienna touches here and there. I want this shape to be little random, whatever the white gaps are left out. Okay, this is sort of a random sky. If you want, you could drop in little bit more color there. I think some more color on the top might be helpful, and I'm just splashing some color. Okay, so let it happen. Let whatever is happening on the paper, let it happen. Okay, and what about right? So there is some sort of sky, that is interesting sky is happening here. Okay, some piece of land probably, and what we have to do, that is something I am not yet very sure about what is happening. So what do you think? Let us make some darker tone for some distant foliages. Okay, so let us mix some sort of say olive green and maybe ultramarine blue, more of ultramarine blue. I want it is almost bluish. Okay, bluish kind of this. This may be something at the distance. Okay, little bit more blue, little bit more cobalt blue, no, ultramarine blue. Okay, I'm just cleaning my brush, and with a damp brush I'm sort of merging it. Okay, let it just disappear into the sky. I'm just trying to do it in that way so that we don't have any idea of where it begins and where it ends. And let us now define some sort of background, I mean the foreground. Okay, now we have something on the paper. I'm thinking what we should do here. I am not actually getting much of idea now. This, for some reason, I like this kind of spread that is happening at the bottom, and to me it looks like a piece of reflection. Okay, something is getting reflected here. That is, I somehow want to make use of it if possible. If we have to make use of it, probably we have to extend the sky part little bit here. So I'm wetting the paper, just expecting that some of these hard edges will get dissolved. And I will extend the sense of water at the bottom. Okay, so we may have to make it kind of water. We may need some reflection of the sky color here. So I am applying again little bit of ultramarine blue, and a touch of Payne gray. Okay, so that it may look like a kind sort of a reflection there. See, I am getting some hard lines here. That is because the paint was trapped inside the brush. We shouldn't allow that to happen actually. Okay, so this may look like a reflection now. Now this could be sky getting reflected, and once it is dry we will do something here. Okay, So if this has to become a reflection, see, some part of this green patch should be the reflection, as some part should be the actual object. So we may have to sort of make some I think we can make some area a little darker so that we can actually demarcate the object and the reflection here. So I'm making little darker olive green and a touch of what is this, ultramarine blue. Okay, and I'm sort of making some sort of this could be some line where some sort of a demarcation of where the object ends and the reflection begins. And I think we also need some sort of touches here and there to accentuate that sense of reflection. Something here and there to show that there is something at the far end. Okay. These are some sort of trees or some patches of bush, etc. at the far end. And while making this, I am actually looking at the sort of perspective. Okay, not much of details. Okay. And at the close end, maybe we will have some more reflection. Okay, so there could be some sort of trees or something. Okay, and just some brush work. Here I am using a Chinese calligraphy brush to get some kind of softer edges. And this is not actually very well defined work, as I told. Okay, these are just some we are just playing it with water, okay, with watercolors, okay, and some sort of reflection. And it is better to make it little vertical, okay, and let it also smudge on the ground. Little bit of smudging could be a good idea. Let it be a little bit longer. Okay, play with it. Idea is to play with it. I think we got a reasonably good sense of reflections. Okay, now we need something here. Okay, we cannot just leave it like that. What about some piece of land here? So if we make it sort of a very parallel line, it looks little boring. Everything is little parallel. So I wanted a little bit of an angle here. So let us actually make some olive green, mix some olive green, okay, a little thicker consistency, and maybe a little bit of yellow ochre, okay, a little bit of yellow ochre and olive green. And I just wanted to make it which way it will look better, this way or this way. this way, I think this way could be better. So I'm just making it maybe some shallow piece of land. Does it look good or not? It is piece of shallow water, so there are some shallow puddle of, it is a shallow piece of water, so some part of the water or the sky reflection is still seen here, and let this be the piece of land. Okay, let this be the piece of land, and we need more darker colors here. So I'm mixing a little bit of maybe ultramarine blue to this to get some tonal variations. Okay, I still wanted to retain some of these suggestions for puddle of water. Okay. And here I need more darker colors. Okay, let us make it little bit more sort of some more puddle. Okay, more color. Just play with it. Okay, maybe I will take little this is little bit of burnt sienna left on my palette, this much. I'll probably add that. Okay, I think we got some good amount of reflection, good sense of some patch of land here. I'm still not very happy with the kind of separation that we are getting here. Maybe some darker lines here and there might be a good idea. And let me splash some water. So what I am doing is I am dipping my finger into the container, shaking off some water from the fingers, and then with some water left out on my finger, and just sort of splashing it, okay, to create some sort of texture here. So we are not really doing much on the foreground here. I'm not sure if we need something to break this. Okay, something to break, to connect the sky and the foreground. So we could probably do some sort of trees. Okay, so now some thin trees we can probably think of, and let us do that. Whether we should make it here, it doesn't look good at the center. I'll probably make it here because I like this and the reflection, so I don't want to cover that with the tree. So maybe this area, some trees maybe here, so that this area will get covered, and little bit of tree popping out toward the center. To make the tree, I am using some darker tone. Maybe I'll use I could have used burnt sienna, but I am not, it is not there on my palette, and I am lazy to open a new tube and do it. So I am mixing olive green and little bit of Vermillion scarlet lake color, expecting that these are sort of complementary, and it will make some darker sort of green. Okay, so let us connect this and the sky and this. So I'm just sort of pushing it so that you get some broken lines also, broken lines and some texture. Okay. I think, and maybe a little bit of Payne grey at some places so that you can make it darker. And it's always a good idea to firmly connect it to the ground by some darker tones, right? And some sort of some uneven, maybe branches or something. Something to create an extra bit of interest. I'm taking a thinner brush now because I want some thin branches probably. I'm not really worrying about a lot of leaves and all, and not sure if we should make something more on this. Should we make one more tree to make it a bit more interesting? I think two elements may not be looking good. What if we make some sort of something, a piece of wood, a piece of something, inside this water, and there could be a little bit of a reflection there. Okay, little bit of a reflection there. Maybe it is, there is a piece of reflection maybe. Just, I don't know if it worked good or not, but these are kind of exploring the things. Okay, so please don't take it much seriously whatever we are doing. These are all just exploring the things. Okay, let me complete this sort of a fence here, okay, so that it makes a little sense. We'll make it a little darker. Sort of. I don't know why it is there, but it is there. I think we are pretty much done with this kind of a scene. There are no people, no figures here, but I think that is okay. It is kind of an isolated area, and there are no people. So if you want, you can make a figure, but I think I will not make any figure in this. Okay, I'll just sign it. Okay, what else? Should we do anything? I don't think we should do anything. We'll just treat it as done. Okay. I know that we haven't had any plan in the beginning. We just started with the sky, and we started with some foliages, and we got the idea of this sort of a reflection idea, and we added little bit more sky reflection then, and we decided to add a patch of shallow land, a patch of land here, and then a tree and the fences. I think this way we can develop our ideas, and we can start working from imagination. We can improve our imagination. You can practice these things, and don't worry about any specific result. And if you practice it for a longer time, I'm sure that your work will improve. Okay, so please continue the practices, and if you have any questions, please do let me know. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and press the bell notification. Thank you very much for watching the tutorial, and this is what we got from today's tutorial. Okay, so we have played with a lot of water and a lot of color for the sky, and we did the sky, and depending upon the sky was formed, we started the foliages and the reflection. We took the decision of the reflection later, and we also took the decisions by looking at the paper. We took decision on how the foreground can happen, how this tree can happen. All those things we have taken the decision. We have taken the decision on the fly by applying our own ideas. Okay, so this way your work is going to be loose, and you also develop your creativity or imagination in the process. So hope this was informative to you. There was something to learn from this video, and if you have any suggestion or any comment or question, please write them into the comment box below. I'll be happy to get back, respond to your comments. Okay, thank you very much. And before leaving, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and press the bell notification. That will help you getting my future videos quickly. Thank you very much, and please do share the video to your friends and families, or those who are interested in learning watercolors. Thank you very much, and we will see you in the next